Hello everybody, welcome to my 8 cards 1 kit for the Spellbinders September 2023 Quick and Easy Card Kit. I found that this kit really lent itself to making cards for the season of being able to say thank you and being so grateful to all the people that matter in our lives. So card number 1 is in landscape position, and I've taken a variety of the leaves from our die cuts and I've arranged them and then used some washi tape to hold them in place so I could then go ahead and place glue on the back of the leaves and then arrange them on the front of the card. I've done a similar sort of trick there with the other elements I'm going to layer up, and I worked out where I wanted them and then placed them onto a piece of scrap paper so that I could keep them in the same position that they would go in on my card. And as you saw earlier, I did go ahead and use foam tape to pop the different little elements there up and to raise them up and give some definition to those elements. And then I've come in with a die cut sentiment of thank you, and that was from one of our Spellbinder kits in a previous year, and with lots of sentiments in that pack, and I use them regularly. They've come in very helpful. And here I'm finishing off the card with 3 of these small pale pink hearts, and I think that's a lovely way to say thank you. Card number 2, I've taken some of this more wood-toned or craft-toned paper and I'm attaching that to the front of my card, and I've then cut another rectangle of paper, and that is a little smaller than the A2 card front, and that's going to be the background for our die cut pieces. Now I have taken some of the heart paper from our paper pack and I've placed that onto the front of my card after I've die cut it with a heart-shaped die. I've got 2 of our little foxes there, one sitting up and one curled up very cozily. And then I've got 3 little leaves that I'm going to place under those very cutely booted feet of our fox. And that fox has got some foam tape underneath him so that I can easily pop those leaves in. And then I'm going to tuck this very cute little sleepy fox behind its friend, or it might be its brother or sister, who knows, but they're very cute together. I've die cut out the word blessed from gold cardstock, and then I've taken some of the same brown paper that's on the background and layered that on top, and just making sure the gold pops out with a little bit of shadowing there, and it just helps to really make that sentiment pop there. Card number 3, I've chosen this lovely umbrella paper, and I'm going to cover the entire front of my card again. I'm bringing in a strip of the green patterned paper there, and it's just got some little pattern on there with some white and brown tones as well. I've added some pinstripe Love from Lizzie peel-offs in the very shiny reflective gold, and that's going to be my landing spot for my little girl walking a dog in the wind with her umbrella. And I've stamped onto a little tag that I've made a stamp sentiment which says wishing you rainbows and sunshine. I thought that was very appropriate for the scene that we have there and the time of year, fall and autumn. And then to finish off, I've made myself a little ribbon bow and glued that onto my tag. Card number 4 is also going to be in landscape. It seems like I had a real thing for landscape cards. I promise that there are some portrait cards in this kit as well. Okay, so I've covered the entire background there of my A2 card front with the pattern paper that looks like triangle shapes. They sort of look like raindrops to me. And I've positioned some of our ephemera pieces and then just stuck them down, held them together in place with some washi tape there. And then that allows me time to come in and glue my rainbow and my clouds in place. And then the three umbrellas, I've gone along and taken foam strips, trimmed them down so that they would go along the handle and stem of the umbrella as well as the top of each umbrella. And I'm just offsetting those from each other so they don't all line up. I like them being that little bit on different levels to each other. From my stash, I've pulled out this set of enamel drops, and the colours work really nicely, and they also have this raindrop shape, so I thought that would be a really nice touch to add to this card. And you can see I'm using a variety of colours and making sure that I'm choosing raindrop shapes that will stand out against the background of the umbrellas or the little clouds. I've die cut myself a hello sentiment. It's got a gold shadow and then some blue cardstock layered on top. Card number 5, I've taken the mustard yellow paper that has this lovely floral detail on the front. I've taken a postage edge die and cut myself a piece of the dark green cardstock, and onto that I'm layering up a piece of the very cute and very sweet paper that has our houses on. I've taken 3 of our die cuts and I'm going to arrange those onto my card first. They're going to be the bottom layer for the armchair that you'll see in a moment. And you can see there I've got foam tape on and I've already peeled that off to make it a little bit quicker. And our chair's going to sit over top of our book, our record player and our mug, all the things you need for a nice relaxing cozy time. And you can see there I've die cut a circle and stamped on there a sentiment, relax and enjoy the day. Thought that was perfect for this card. Card number 6. This one is in portrait and I'm using this adorable teapot and coffee mug paper, and I've taken a strip of our spotty green paper and then used a lawn form scalloped edge to die cut that strip that's going to go on our card. Now I am currently in the process of taking 2 pieces of the green ribbon you see there, and I'm going to layer that just close to the edge there of our scalloped borders. Once that's all nice and straight and attached, I'm going to turn over our paper, putting on some glue, and those ends there were a bit long, so we trim those off. And you can see I'm going to go ahead and get these ribbon ends to attach. Now they need a few seconds just to allow the glue time to grip, and to do that I'm simply placing one of our acrylic blocks on top, and you can see there it wants to spring straight up, but as soon as you put a little bit of weight on it, it just gives it time to sit and set in place. And you can see there that was pretty quick. Those ribbons are now in place and they're not going to lift up again. So let's take our decorated patterned paper and we're going to place that straight down the middle of our card panel, and just giving it a press, make sure it's nice and firmly attached. I've taken some of the foam strips from our card kit and I've used that on the back of our mug and on the handle. I've then also using that on our die cut pieces. You can see I have cut a tiny slit in the teacup itself, or mug, and I've placed the floral stem in there. I then decided that I was going to add some leaves with it because I just felt like it was a bit bare having that one little stem in there. And so I will tuck 2 leaves in there next to our flower. And then I thought to finish off our little bunch of flowers, I'd take some of our die cuts that look like the flowers on our mug itself. And I'm just attaching those 3 nice and flat there on top of the die cut area. I'm using a Blessings die cut sentiment, which I've stacked up with 3 layers of white cardstock and a layer of the gold cardstock, and that just picks up nicely on the details on our mug. Just using the block to make sure it's nice and firmly pressed down. And that's that card all finished. It's really pretty. Next up, card 7. I'm taking some of our grid patterned paper, or it might actually look more like a ledger sheet, and I've cut this paper to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller than our A2 card base. Onto that I'm placing a piece of floral patterned paper, and that's going to go on the bottom, about a third, bit over a bottom third of the card. I'm bringing in some peel-offs here, and I'm just going to place one of the medium width pieces across the top of our floral pattern paper, just to make the seam where they overlap look a lot prettier. I've then got myself a little banner, a flag banner, that I've cut from some craft cardstock, and I'm going to attach that to our top left corner. That's going to be the place where I put our sentiment for this card. I've taken acorn leaf there, and that's going to be positioned behind one of our wood die cut pieces, which I've popped up on some foam tape. I've taken 2 of the little floral pieces of these like star-shaped little flowers, and I've glued those together to make a much fuller bunch or bouquet of flowers down there on the bottom, and they're a really lovely match to the colour of the leaves in that floral paper. Then I've taken some blue pearlescent paper, and this is from Tonic Studios. It's their pearlescent craft paper, pearlescent paper, and it says give thanks, and just another way to say thank you to someone special. Okay, our last card, I'm taking the plaid patterned paper, and I'm going to make a little scene on the front of this card. I've got one of our little pickup trucks there full of gourds and pumpkins. I'm going to arrange the tree in the centre of the paper, and that's going to go behind our little pickup truck. I'm gluing that closer to the bottom of the card. I don't want to cover up too much of the tree, and I like that trunk of the tree showing there. Then I thought I might try something a little bit different with these fence die cuts. You can see there I've folded over the outside parts of those die cuts, and I'm gluing them directly onto the card and over top of the pickup truck. And I'll show you what that does in a moment. I've die cut a sentiment which says gather, and then I'm going to decorate the front part of our little fence, and just gluing on the pumpkins here, giving that glue that I've placed on the folded back part of the fence some time to dry and really set in place. I'm bringing in those enamel shapes again. This time I'm bringing in some of the heart designs. And to finish off, I wanted to fill in that little heart shape there in the sentiment, so that we've got another little glossy detail to go with those hearts on the tree. Okay, so the gates had time to set and dry in place, and it just makes it a little bit interactive. So let's just have a quick look back at the cards I've made with this kit. I do still have lots of paper and embellishments at the ready to make more, but at the moment I'm going to be working on my cards for the October card kit. I do hope you've enjoyed watching my cards making today. If you have, I would definitely appreciate a thumbs up and any comments or feedback that you might have. Until next time, it's bye bye for now.